For those of you that don't know me, I'm Onnie. I'm the host of this group, Moms Without Capes. And today we're talking about the myth of the supermom. So if you're watching live, let me know, put it in the comments. I'm going to be checking throughout. Hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. It's always like this tricky tech thing that I've got going on. If you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. And then also let me know if you have any questions, or it's way better if it's a conversation, a back and forth conversation, rather than just me talking live. So let's just dive in here. So I wanted to talk about the myth of the supermom. And that's what this entire Facebook group, the community that I've created, the movement that I've created or founded was all about, is dismantling the myth of the supermom. So what is the supermom? Like, who is that woman? And this is this ideal mom that we have created in our society, and it has perpetuated through the years, of this ideal woman who is perfectly balanced, able to do it all, right? Do all of the things, able to swing the many demands of like child rearing and running the household, holding down a job, having this perfect relationship, all while like feeding your kids organic food, making sure that they have, these like immaculate matching clothes, your kids all are matching clothes, volunteering around the community. It's that mom who is into everything, right? Like she's hosting cookie swaps. She is she's a Homer mom, and she shows up with like all of the matched, but not the matched, all the Pinterest perfect snacks. She's the mom that appears to have it all together, but she's also exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed out, and just falling apart inside while she's trying to keep up and look like she's got it all together on the outside. This is the supermom that we're talking about today. And you yourself may be one, or you may know other moms that this fits the description. For years, this was me, like just trying and thinking like I had to live up to this definition of a good mom that I had in my mind and that I saw in like highlight reels in social media, and thinking that just like exhausted, like trying to do all the things and it was like my own perfectionism, my people pleasing, these unrealistic expectations that were keeping me trapped, believing that this is all that I had to do, that I had to do all of it in order to be the perfect mom for my kids. And again, it was exhausting. It's like keeping up this facade or this mask. And the irony of it all is that the harder you try to keep up, and the harder you try to keep on the cape, as the metaphor is, the less you feel like a superwoman on the inside, the less you recognize the amazingness that you are. And they say like beauty's found on the inside and all of that. Well, it's very true, right? Like when you are trying so hard to be someone that is this ideal, that is this super mom, the less you feel like you're super, the more you believe that it reinforces the belief of inadequacy, because you're constantly in this uphill battle of trying to do it all, when as humans, as infallible creatures, we just cannot. We cannot possibly do it all, and we cannot keep up that persona. And so it makes us feel inadequate. It makes us feel like we are failing. And like we have to keep up and do all the things. It keeps us trapped on that hamster wheel of perpetually trying harder. And when we feel inadequate, we try even harder. Our to-do lists get even longer. We do more, we just do more. We volunteer more places. We try to make everyone and everyone else happy, and we ourselves are constantly reinforcing that belief of inadequacy, because it's impossible to make other people, like, to make everyone happy. And so you're stuck on this hamster wheel of constantly trying. So where does this supermom idea come from? It's this fantasy, right? Like, she's not real. There's plenty of women that you may think like they've got it all together, but it's exhausting and they are feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. And so it's this fantasy, this fantastical being that we've created in our mind, and it's become part of society, right? Like, getting caught up in this hustle culture and like do more and be more, and all of these expectations that society as a whole has come to think of the mom being able to continue to do it all. That it's this, we wish that we could be this person, right? We have this desire to be this person, but we're not looking at the full picture. And it's definitely not a realistic view of how moms can, because we ourselves are human. We're not these like go gadget people that can do everything and like be everywhere and have it all and do it all. So it's this, idealistic view. It grows from our own inadequacy. The more inadequate we feel, the more we try to be her, leaving us lacking confidence and security in our own worth. Right? Many super moms struggle with, the number one reason is not making time for self-care and doing things that we enjoy. And then lots of moms turn around and they don't even recognize who they are in the mirror. They are barely a shadow of who they once were, because they've filled their days like making sure that everyone else is taken care of, and they've neglected their own care. And so by taking action against that, by making sure that you are making time for self-care, and in order to do that, you have to feel worthy, right? I used to think that it was like a matter of time management and having to manage your time better. But the thing is even if you do like keep a schedule or, have routines in place, you could fill those routines with doing everything but taking care of yourself and developing yourself. And so even if you are the best time manager in the world, if you don't consider yourself worthy of focusing on, then it doesn't matter. You're going to just fill that time with other things, other pursuits, instead of focusing on building yourself up and making yourself a priority. So it's really important to recognize that the supermom isn't all she's cracked up to be, right? There's a lot of holes and there's a lot of myth surrounding the idea of the supermom. Why do we continue to think that the supermom is real? Well, like I mentioned, our own expectations, those unrealistic expectations, have been perpetuated by society as a whole. Society has, like our culture, the culture that we live in glorifies that idea of the supermom, like that, believing that we can do it all. And also like familial patterns or like family patterns. We see our own moms like trying the hardest to be the supermom and doing it all. And we internalize that and try to either replicate that, or if your own mom was not that and she did show her shortcomings, then we try to compensate for that by going over the top, by trying even harder, getting those to-do lists even longer, and again reinforcing our own beliefs of inadequacy. So we have to stop and ask ourselves, like, why is this happening? Why is it affecting you? And what can you do to change things? Increase your awareness. Take some time and journal. Ask yourself, how do you define a good mom? See if there's exceptions to that. See if you know good moms, like moms that you would consider to be totally capable and like loving mothers that aren't super moms. So try to find exceptions and evidence that negates those beliefs. See what expectations you yourself hold about motherhood, about life, about yourself, about how, about your children, about being a mom. All of these expectations, see if they are realistic or if they are creating this supermom image or the supermom persona that you are struggling to keep up with. Then take action against it. Self-care is an amazing way to learn about yourself. It's going to help you step out of that supermom cape and start learning what it is, learning who you are, learning who it is that you are. And so coming up, I've got a self-care challenge. We're doing it again. We did it back in February and with great success, and I'm going to do it again the week before Mother's Day. So I strongly encourage you to sign up for this, because this challenge, by engaging in intentional self-care each and every day, it's going to help you recognize your own worth. It's going to start you on that path of changing the way you feel about yourself and stepping out of that supermom cape and being okay with who you are without the cape. Be real and celebrate realness. This is another way that you can fight against that supermom ideal. Celebrate our fallibility, our humanness, our realness. Be intentional about fighting against that. Celebrate realness. When you see posts online, when you're scrolling through your social media, so many times I've talked before about that compare game and making sure that you are unfollowing people that are making you feel less than. When you're scrolling through your Facebook or Instagram feed, stop and comment or react to those posts where you see moms in their real selves, like being real, whether that's like on TikTok, just being silly, or posts that are not glamorizing the supermom. Stop and react to those posts. And by doing so, you're taking a step to de-glorify that supermoms. Learn to let go of the ideals, the perfectionism, and get comfortable with being authentic. And again, one of the ways that you're going to get to be authentic is to become more aware of who you are. If you don't even recognize the woman that you see in the mirror, which I know many of you don't, many of you have been so wrapped up in doing everything for everyone else that you no longer even recognize that woman that you see staring back at you in the mirror. You're like a shell or a shadow of who you used to be before you became a mom. Then it's time to let go of the perfectionism, right? It's time to recognize yourself for who you are, but you have to get in touch with that woman. And self-care is going to help you on that path of discovery. And then finally, practice self-compassion. How are you talking to yourself? How are you treating yourself? Are you your own worst critic? Are you talking to yourself with kindness or like you would a best friend? This is going to help you fight against that supermom. So get registered for the upcoming challenge. It all kicks off on May 2nd. You'll be seeing posts all through this group the next few weeks all about it, but get registered today. And I will go ahead and put the link to that in the comment section of this live. If you're listening to this on my podcast, Moms Without Capes podcast, then you can find the link to the registration in the show notes. If you're listening to this and it's past the challenge, again, it starts May 2nd, so it runs May 2nd to May 6th. It's a 5-day challenge. You can still visit the page. I'll and let me know, send me an email at Onnie@momswithoutcapes.com if you're interested in being in the next round. We'll be doing it again, probably July, August. I haven't set on dates yet, but if you're listening to this in time to get registered for the May 2nd challenge, definitely do so. All right, well, take care of everyone, and I hope that you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.